Hello, folks. Welcome to Spanish Fork 17. We've got some Monday softball for you. It is the Spanish Fork Lady Dons up against the Bear River Bears. An absolute classic of a game set up for you here on Spanish Fork 17. Whether you're watching on the channel or watching on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Spanish Fork 17. We are very excited to have you for this particular matchup. This is a matchup between two softball powerhouses and old rivals. I mean, this used to be a pretty classic matchup back in the day, but now that both teams are now Spanish Fork in 5A and Bear River in 4A, they don't get to see each other quite as often, but they do still usually see each other once a year, which is always a fun game to cover. Both teams coming into this one absolutely red hot. Both teams are in the top two of their respective RPIs. Bear River sitting behind Ridgeline in RPI at number 2. And for Spanish Fork, they are absolutely dominating 5A. They are number 1 in RPI by a wide margin this year. It has been absolutely impressive. So just very pleased with both. They got to be pleased with both programs. They've been fantastic so far on the season. The one loss in region for Bear River, coming to number 1 team Ridgeline on a score of 10-9. So it was just so close to taking down the River Hawks. Unfortunately, with Jade Romero, she'll be followed by Tatum Hall. Batting third will be Peyton Hall. Batting in cleanup will be Avery Sapp. Batting 5th, Alice Archuleta. Batting 6th, Paige Pierce. Batting 7th, Olivia Carroll. Batting 8th, Emery Pintar. And batting 9th, Audrey Overturf, with Ellie Olson out in left field and the flex here today for the Lady Dons. Again, just very excited for this particular matchup. This is one of the ones that I've really enjoyed covering over the last 5 years that I've been here at Spanish Fork 17. One of my favorite games I ever called was a championship match between these two teams when both of them were still in 4A. Was a 3-game set that Bear River ended up taking, but wow, just absolutely fun. So much drama in that particular series, and so I'm hoping for something similar here today. Again, while I also have some time, let's go over some stats here, because I am a big fan of stats. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on with Avery Sapp. She very potentially could be your 5A Player of the Year. She's done it not only on the mound, but has been absolutely incredible with the bat as well. But her pitching stats, according to Max Prep's, 2.71 ERA on the season. But the thing that really stands out to me for Avery Sapp is she's pitched 59 and a third innings, and in those 59 and a third innings, she has 110 strikeouts. So just a tick under 2 strikeouts per inning, essentially, and then only 17 walks. So really has had great command of the plate, and just has an absolutely fantastic arsenal of pitches. Definitely excited to see her pitch today. And yeah, they just have an absolutely impressive roster of girls that can absolutely mash as well. Avery Sapp being one of those. Again, according to Max Preps, on the season, she is batting .551. I barely do that on my video game, let alone in real life. So .551, pretty impressive. 7 home runs on the season. She leads the team with 34 RBIs as well. To go with that, we've got Jade Romero, who actually leads the team with 8 home runs on the season, batting .463. Peyton Hall, who Player of the Year last year and doing similar things this year, batting .500 with 6 home runs on the season. So just 1 through 9, this lineup is incredibly dangerous, but in particular, the top of this order, 1 through 4, is as good as any lineup in all of Utah. Not just 5A, but literally all of Utah. The Lady Dons are just so impressive. And again, both teams made it to their respective championships last year as well. Spanish Fork, obviously, winning state last year. Bear River ended up losing to Ridgeline, who again is one of their 2 losses this season. Ridgeline, just an incredible program as well. So made it to the championship game, ran into their kind of new rival, as you will, in Ridgeline, ending up losing that championship. But I imagine that they'll be probably in a pretty similar situation coming up here in a couple weeks, and making their way through state playoffs. I definitely expect the Bears to make another deep playoff run this year. It looks like we are finally getting them up onto the field here.
At second base, Tatum Hall.
You hear the PA announcer announcing the defensive alignment here for Spanish Fork. Again, it'll be Avery Sapp on the bump here for Spanish Fork. Catching today is Paige Pierce. Over at first base is Elise Archuleta. Second base, Tatum Hall. Third base, Peyton Hall. Shortstop, Jade Romero. Left field, Ellie Olson. Center field, Audrey Overturf. And in right field, Emery Pintar.
At the top of one, starting off as shortstop, number 32, Kaya Town is our first hitter. Avery Say on deck, and Kate Daly in the hole.
Starting things off here for the Bears is going to be Kaya Town, Aubrey Fry, and Kate Daly. Again, we are very excited pitch there from Sapp. Just absolutely freezes up Town there for strike two. So 1 ball and 2 strikes now to the Bear River leadoff hitter. Rise ball that gets just a little high there for Sapp, so count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 will be up and away, so now a full count here on Town. So Town has showed up in every single game here this season, has a triple and a double to her name and 7 RBIs. Again, this is all according to some stats I found on Deseret News. Unfortunately, Max Preps did not have a ton for me, so is what is, folks. The payoff pitch here is going to be low and outside, so Town will get a lead-off walk here to start things off in the top of the first inning. A rare walk issued by Avery Sapp. It'll be Aubrey Fry now, the center fielder, up. Tries to lay down the bunt. It'll be popped up into the backstop here for strike 1. Fry with 2 doubles on the season, 3 triples, and 12 RBIs. So has been a pretty good bat here in the lineup for the Bears. She digs back in here for the 0-1 count. Now he's going to catch the outside part of the plate. An excellent pitch by Avery Sapp to get Aubrey Fry already down 0-2. Clearly trying to advance the runner here, knowing that runs are going to be at a premium here against Sapp. The 0-2. Rise ball that gets well away from her. It'll hit the backstop, and Town will find her way over to second base. For the wild pitch there by Sapp. Now runner in scoring position here for the Bears, and the count is 1-2 on Aubrey Fry. Swing and a miss, excellent pitch. Paints the outside part of the plate there and gets a little nice rise on it for the first strikeout of the game there for Avery Sapp. Again, averaging just about 2 strikeouts per inning. So if she's right, we're going to see a lot of those in this ball game. They do still have Town over there at second base after advancing on the wild pitch and leading things off with a walk. Low there to Kate Daly for a ball. That one high, so now 2 balls and no strikes to Daly. Daly, the opposing pitcher for today for the Bears. Be seeing her in the bottom half of this inning trying to deal with a very formidable Lady Dons lineup as that one is fouled away. It'll hit the top of the backstop here. First strike here in this at bat, 2 balls and 1 strike. So some fun, crazy stats here for Spanish Fork. Again, they are on that 14-game win streak. That one is going to end up hitting Daly. So she will make her way on over to first base. So 2 runners on here in the top of the first, which is, yeah, don't see this a ton here for Avery Sapp. Again, she's definitely one of the best pitchers in all of Utah. A little bit higher in the ERA than other typical seasons. Has had a couple outings where she has been roughed up a little bit, mainly in that Riverton game to start the season, but A little weird to see this much traffic early in this ball game. So it is Bella Douglas coming up right now for Bear River, cleanup hitter, and playing second base here for the Bears. Rise ball that gets up and beyond the strike zone for ball one. So 14-game win streak here for Spanish Fork. Again, only losing by 1 to Riverton in that first game of the season. Their spread of runs for and runs against is pretty nutso. That one gets away as well, so that's going to advance the runners. So it'll be 2 runners in scoring position now, and the count 2-0 here on Douglas. On the season, they have 160 runs for to 43 runs against, which is just a crazy number. The run differential there is pretty impressive for Spanish Fork, as that was a swing and miss there by Douglas. So the count now 2 balls and 1 strike. It'll be Bailey Sorensen due up next here for the Bears. Really threatening here in this first inning. Nice hitters count here for Douglas with the count now 3 balls and 1 strike. The 3-1 is an excellent changeup. Freezes up Douglas and gets the count to full. It's a bit of an overcast day here at the ballpark, but we'll certainly take the overcast over what had been happening before this game. Decent amount of rain before we even got to the ballpark here, or at least I got to the ballpark. As the crew was getting set up, they were having to deal with some rain. When I got here, there was a tarp over the announcer's table, and it had a fair amount of water. So it's we are more than anything, we're just happy that we were actually able to broadcast this game that didn't end up getting canceled. So very happy with that, as the bases are now loaded here in this first inning, and that's going to miss high and outside to Sorensen. So 2 walks and a hit by pitch have loaded the bases up here in the top of this first inning, just 1 out. Sapp with the 1-0 is going to miss high once again. Count will move to 2 balls and no strikes. And the 2-0 is just going to barely miss there for Sampson. Now 3 balls and no strikes here on Sorensen. This feels like a really big opportunity here for the Bears. And I wonder if they're going to let her swing away here. Instead, it's going to be another rise ball that's going to go up, and that's going to be the first run of this ball game, as Town is going to score on the bases loaded walk here. Move everyone to the next station, and it'll bring up Lucy Rocher, who's now up for the Bears. Catching today, and quick mound visit here for Avery Sapp, and also to, I think, talk some strategy over here with the infield. I mean, obviously, in an ideal world, you find a way to force a very quick ground ball that could potentially turn a double play on. Again, this is not a typical situation that Avery Sapp has been in this season. Has really done a good job of limiting the damage. Again, only just a 2.71 ERA. Usually doesn't have a ton of traffic on the bases. Again, really came into this one with essentially a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. So just has done a very good job of just hitting the strike zone. She's struggled here a little bit in this first little bit of this start, but you'd think that after the mound visit here, hopefully get things all sorted out. We return to game action here with 1 out in the top of the first inning. The score is 1-0 after the bases loaded walk by Bailey Sorensen. Pitch that will once again get a little up and away there for Avery Sapp, so 1 ball and no strikes. That one is in there and fouled away. Evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Spanish Fork followed somewhat closely this season by Springville. Springville's one loss in region play coming to Spanish Fork. That one's going to be high and tight. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. Springville 5-1 in region and 13-4 on the season, and up there in the top 5 in RPIs. That is a little tapper that's going to go to second base. They go over to second to get the out. It'll go down as a fielder's choice, and it's going to score another run here for the Bears. So Roche at first. Sorensen will be thrown out at second base. Douglas will advance to third, and Daly coming across. Bring up Kendall Archibald now for Bear River. That's going to just barely miss the outside part of the plate for ball 1. So an early 2-0 lead here for the Bears. That one popped high in the sky. It will be up and past the backstop here. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Archibald. Archibald with 4 doubles on the season and 6 RBI, according to Deseret News. That one is going to miss outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to the Bears' third baseman. Still threatening here with runners on the corners and 2 outs. And that is going to hit Archibald. It's going to be the second hit by pitch here in this first inning. And it's going to load the bases back up. The Bears very much still threatening here with 2 outs in the top of the first here and 2 runs already coming across. Bring up Ashley Warren, their left fielder and number 8 hitter. Warren gets a nice piece of that one, but it will land in foul territory for strike 1. Their designated player Mattinson would be due up next here should Warren find a way to get on, and if she does that, at least 1 more run will come across here for the Bears. The 0-1 pitch upcoming. Going to be a changeup. It's going to be a beauty for strike 2. So 2 hit by pitches and a couple walks. Really the main issue here for Spanish Fork is that's going to land foul just a bit beyond our crowd over here on the right side. So an uncharacteristically wild inning here for Avery Sapp with 3 walks and 2 hit by pitches, but hoping to get out of it here. Solid contact, first hit of the day here for Bear River. Gets out into left field. Is a nice throw out there, but just a little too late. So it'll be a 2 RBI single there for Ashley Warren. Move Archibald to third, and we'll score Roche and Douglas. So now the score 4-0. Big inning here for Bear River. Early 4-0 lead here on the Lady Dons. Rise ball that will get up and away. Thankfully, it does get solid bounce off the backstop, as it looked like Pierce just barely missed being able to tag her out there at home plate. Good hustle there by Archibald to score on the play. So the wild pitch will lead to another run here in the top of the first, and it will also advance Ashley Warren over to second base. So a runner in scoring position and 5 runs already coming across here in this first inning. That's a fantastic pitch there from Sapp. 2 balls and 1 strike. And my apologies, 1 ball and 1 strike. Looking at the wrong line here. This is Mattinson now up for Bear River. Now the count is 2 balls and 1 strike after that one. So runner on second base, 5 runs already in for the Bears. 2-1 low and inside. Now there's 3 balls and 1 strike here on Mattinson. After her would be the top of the order once again. Bears have batted around here in inning number 1. Take a nice swing at that one for a strike. So it'll be a full count now on the Bears' designated player. Sapp really hoping to find one more strike here and just get this inning over with. And the 3-2 is in there. A fantastic changeup for strike 3. Second strikeout of the day for Avery Sapp. A big inning there for Bear River. 5 runs coming across to start this ball game off as they will go into the bottom of the first with a solid lead. As we move on over to the bottom half of the first inning, gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17. That is Lance Wilson State Farm, Two Jacks Pizza, MVP Sports, and Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Yeah, we want to thank everyone for tuning into this ballgame, whether you're watching it on the channel or on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Spanish Fork 17. Especially to our Bear River fans, we appreciate you tuning in here for this ball game. And for everyone else, we want to make sure that you click on that subscribe button and join our Spanish Fork 17 family so that you can get all of the Spanish Fork and Maple Mountain High School sports that you could ever dream of. So make sure to join our Spanish Fork 17 family at youtube.com/Spanish Fork 17.
Coached by Calvin Bingham, assisted by Ashley Brown and Troy Haramoto.
We are getting a look of warm-ups here for the Bears. Let's go over their defensive lineup here for today. On the mound is Kate Daly. Over at first base is Bailey Sorensen. Second base, Bella Douglas. At third, Kendall Archibald. Shortstop, Kaya Town. Left field, Ashley Warren. Center field, Aubrey Fry. Right fielder, Danny Warren. And catching today, Lucy Roche. And then leading things off here for Spanish Fork is going to be Jade Romero. She will be followed by Tatum Hall and Peyton Hall. And Dons will need to get the bats going here, already down 5. Romero tries to lay the bunt down and ends up fouling it away, so it'll be no balls and 1 strike. Romero, one of the Dons having a spectacular season at the plate. Batting .463 with 8 home runs and 21 RBIs, 25 hits and 28 runs so far on the season. Really just has been phenomenal here in this leadoff spot. Count evens up here at 1 ball, 1 strike as that one goes low and away. Love hearing the crowd here today as that one is fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Always good support here for the Lady Dons, and why wouldn't there be? Because they've been absolutely fantastic. Basically, since I've been here, they've basically won almost every state championship. They're always so good, and this team certainly has the capability to be right up there with the best of them. That one is going to hit the dirt before it ended up hitting Romero. So I guess kind of gets out of the way in a way. So the count evens up here now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the Bears up by 5. A big first inning for them. Don's hoping to respond here in a big way in the bottom half of the inning. As the count is now full on their leadoff hitter, Jade Romero. The payoff pitch is swung on and missed. That's an excellent pitch from Daly. Just kind of paints that inside part of the plate. Great location, just nice in there on the hands of Romero. Not quite able to get around to it in time for strike 3. So first strikeout of the day there for Daly. 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. It brings up Tatum Hall, the second baseman for Spanish Fork. Scrapes the plate for ball 1. Hall on the season batting .553 according to Max Preps with 5 home runs and 19 RBIs, 26 hits total on the season. Very consistent producer in this lineup. Slaps that one over the fence and foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hall, a junior, and doing a really good job here in this number 2 spot in the lineup for Spanish Fork. Gets a big piece of that one, and you can kiss that thing goodbye. Oh my goodness. Tatum Hall absolutely crushes that one out to center field, and that's the first run of the ball game here for the Lady Dons. Does so in emphatic fashion, just blasting that thing out to center. Beautiful piece of hitting by the second baseman. Put Spanish Fork on the scoreboard here in the bottom of the first inning. The score now 5-1 after the solo shot by Tatum Hall.
Up to bat number 14, third base.
After giving up 5 runs, that's exactly what you want to see. Getting on the scoreboard, getting the team some confidence, and get themselves in a place where mentally they can rally back into this ball game, as that's going to be outside for ball 1 to Peyton Hall. Another one that's having a sensational season for Spanish Fork. And also outside, so 2 balls and no strikes. Peyton Hall on the season, batting .500. Again, according to Max Preps, 6 home runs, 21 RBIs, 21 hits total in her 58 plate appearances. Holds up on that changeup that just finds the outside part of the plate, so 2 balls and 1 strike. And 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. The score is 5-1 after Hall hit a solo home run. It's a little piece of that one to even up the count here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Unfortunately for us today, we do not have the scoreboard graphics, so I will do my best to keep you updated on balls and strikes and where we're at with runs and all that jazz. And another outside pitch will move the count now to full to Peyton Hall. Avery Sapp due up next here for Spanish Fork. The heart of the order here for Spanish Fork is as good as it gets for any team. Peyton Hall a big part of that. The 3-2 is going to be tapped over to short. The throw will be made, and that is going to be out number 2 here in the bottom of the first.
Hound Sorensen for the second out, brings to bat your pitcher number 5.
Play over there by Kaya Town to scoop that up and send it over to first.
And Paige Pierce in the hole.
Now up the cleanup hitter Avery Sapp. Be outside for ball 1. Hoping to help her cause today, as she's been roughed up a little bit here in inning number 1 on the mound, but certainly can do some excellent damage with the bat. Be outside again, so 2 balls and no strikes. Sapp .551 on the season, 7 home runs, and 34 RBIs, which is among the highest in all of 5A. Really done tons of damage here in this cleanup spot, and certainly helps when you've got girls in front of you that are all batting above 400, as that one is a little high and tight, but it'll be called a strike, so 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning of a 5-1 ball game between the Bears and the Lady Dons. That one will be just off the plate, so 3 balls and 1 strike. Nice thought there by Daly after going high and inside, trying to work the other corner of the plate. The 3-1 is knocked towards second. The play will be made over there, and that will end the first inning. Bear River comes out ripping and roaring with the score 5-1. Solo home run by Tatum Hall to close the gap a little bit, but we'll get you inning number 2 when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport. Paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. We've got softball for you today. It's the Bear River Bears up against the Spanish Fork Lady Dons. We're in inning number 2. The score is 5-1 in favor of the visiting Bears, coming out and just doing a good job of working the count here against Avery Sapp. She ends up hitting 2 batters and also ended up walking. I've got 3 batters that were walked in the inning. Really only allowed the one hit being a 2-run single by Ashley Warren, but we'll see what Avery Sapp has in store here for inning number 2. Again, came into this ball game just absolutely dominating the competition so far on the season. Had her struggles against Riverton in her first game, but really otherwise has just been fantastic. Again, the Dons are sitting on a 14-game win streak going into this, having lost that opener to Riverton, but otherwise have just mowed through the competition pretty easily this season. It'll be the top of the order back up here for Bear Rivers. They were able to bat around in inning number 1. So Kaya Town back up for the Bears. And it will be Towns, Fry, and Daly due up here in inning number 2. Count is 1-0. If that pitch goes outside. And she gets a good piece of that one. It is going to be up and over the fence for a solo home run to start things off here in the second inning. Yeah, Town sends that one out into left center, well over the fence for run number 6 here for Bear River. And, kind of a dangerous situation out there in left field. Saw Olsen kind of slide into the outfield fence. It looks like she's okay, though. Yeah, excellent pop there by Kaya Town. Now has 2 runs on the day after scoring in the first inning, then bringing herself in here in inning number 2 with that solo blast. The Aubrey Fry up now for Bear River. She struck out in her first at bat against Sapp. One of 2 that went down on strikes in that first inning. Already 2 home runs in this ball game, 1 each for each team. Gets just a little piece of that one for strike 1. A 6-1 ball game here on Spanish Fork 17 after that solo home run by Kaya Town. A rise ball that is held up there by Fry, so 1 ball and 1 strike. Just a tick inside and off the glove of Pierce. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Kate Daly and Bella Douglas due up next here for Bear River. No outs so far here in the top of the second. The 2-1, a changeup that just ends up dropping just a little bit out of the zone. So 3 balls and 1 strike here to Fry. The 3-1 catches the outside part of the plate for strike 2. So now a full count on Aubrey Fry. We'll say that she does not swing on that pitch, so it will be ball 4, and Fry will make her way over to first base. So after the solo home run by Town, Fry will get on base. It is the 4th walk issued here by Sapp, and it brings up Kate Daly, who got hit by a pitch in the first inning and then ended up scoring as part of that big 5-run inning for Bear River. That's a beautiful pitch for strike 1. Daly getting through that first inning with relative ease on the mound for Bear River, just allowing the one solo home run to Tatum Hall. Squares up to bunt, and it's going to be caught over there at third base by Peyton Hall. Excellent play at the hot corner. Gotta love that. Just came charging in on that one, expecting to grab it on the ground, and says, hey, why not catch it on the fly? And so gets an easy out there.
The batter, Belladegro, Sorensen on deck, and Roach in the hole.
Trying to make a special note in the score for that one. Hot shot there to third base. They do make the play over at second and do throw it across the diamond over to first.
Another fine glove for the second out to Hall.
The one hopper right over to second base to get the out. So Fry thrown out at second base on the fielder's choice there by Douglas. She will be over there at first base with 2 outs now in the top of the second. Brings up Bailey Sorensen. First pitch will be up and outside for ball 1. One Otis Sorensen will just barely miss there. So count now 2 balls and no strikes. Sorensen walked in the first inning. Was thrown out at second on a fielder's choice. This one's going to be dangerous. But the play is going to be made out there in center field for out number 3. So 1 run coming across here in the second inning. The solo shot by Kaya Town to extend the Bear River lead to 6-1 over Spanish Fork. As we move on over to the bottom half of the second inning, it gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17. That is Two Jacks Pizza, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, and Lance Wilson State Farm. We would like to remind you that our next broadcast is going to be on Thursday at 3:30 p.m. It will be the Spanish Fork Dons up against the Wasatch Wasps. That one, pretty important series for Spanish Fork. Again, needing to kind of reestablish themselves here in Region 9 play after taking the series loss to Maple Mountain. Again, not a sad thing necessarily, because I mean Maple Mountain is a very impressive team this season. They're doing pretty great. But this one, a key matchup between a couple of Region 9 foes, and an opportunity for each of them to make their way up that RPI list. So make sure that you are tuning in on Thursday at 3:30 p.m. for this Region 9 matchup between the Dons and the Wasps here on Spanish Fork 17. As you see Kate Daly getting warmed back up here for Bear River. Again, just allowing the 1 run in inning number 1, just the solo shot by Tatum Hall. Otherwise, cleanly getting through that first inning. A strikeout of Jade Romero and a couple ground outs for Peyton Hall and Avery Sapp. Due up here is Alice Archuleta, Paige Pierce, and Olivia Carroll for Spanish Fork. Don's really needing to be able to respond here in inning number 2. They did get that solo home run by Hall, but with a 5-run deficit once again. Hoping to get the bats up and rolling here against Daly. That is going to be a pitch that will miss to Archuleta. So 1 ball and no strikes. Archuleta batting .422 on the season. So another one above that Ted Williams line, as you will, as that one is going to hit Archuleta. So first hitter is on base here in inning number 2. Not in the fun way, but in a way that gets you over there, as it ends up kind of nicking her elbow there. So leadoff batter on for Spanish Fork and brings up Paige Pierce. Pierce batting .370 on the season. 5 doubles, a home run, and 10 RBIs, 17 hits. So it's had a pretty solid season here for the Lady Dons. The 1-0 is going to just miss off that outside part of the plate. So 2 balls and no strikes. And we have so far been able to avoid the sprinkles as we are very much in overcast day. Absolutely turns on that one and rips it foul for the first strike of the at-bat. So 2 balls and 1 strike now on Pierce. And dangerous clouds here above us on the field, but they're just gray and not actually dumping on us, so we will absolutely take that, as we did get a little precipitation, obviously, before the game, but nothing doing right now, which we absolutely love. The 2-1 is swung on and missed. A little bit of sigh of frustration there by Pierce. Fooled on the changeup. Excellent pitch there by Daly. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Archuleta on first after getting hit by a pitch. No outs here in the bottom of the second inning. The 2-2 is going to miss. Will be a bit outside there. I'll move the count to full now on Paige Pierce. Olivia Carroll due up next, followed by Emery Pintar for Spanish Fork. 6-1 ball game between the Bears and the Lady Dons. The payoff pitch here to Pierce. Swung on and missed. An excellent changeup on the outside part of the plate. Strike 3, second strikeout of the game here for Kate Daly.
Brings bat number 6, Ellie Olson.
Brings up number 6, Ellie Olson. Olson in the flex position for Spanish Fork, and that will catch the outside part of the plate there for strike 1. Big swing and miss there for strike 2. So 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Archuleta on first. Be outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Olson. Olson batting .333 on the season with a home run, 2 triples and 4 doubles and 13 RBIs. Excellent pitch. Pumps the outside part of the plate for Kate Daly. 3rd strikeout on the day for her. And 2 outs now in the bottom of the second inning. It will bring up Emery Pintar, batting .429 on the season in her 28 at-bats, 12 hits, 11 RBIs, and a home run. Doing a nice job when she is given opportunities. That clips the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Give this to Kate Daly. She's done a nice job of attacking the strike zone and really establishing, in particular, the outside part of the plate to these right-handed hitters. This one's going to be sent right at first base, and the play will be made for out number 3, and that will be the end of the second inning. As Daly gets through inning number 2 unscathed, the score will stay 6-1 in favor of Bear River over Spanish Fork. We'll get you inning number 3 when we come back on Spanish Fork 17.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
Contact State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Welcome back to Spanish Fork 17. Inning number 3 of this one between the Bear River Bears and the Spanish Fork Lady Dons. Getting you a softball here today on Spanish Fork 17. The score is 6-1 in favor of the visiting Bear River Bears. Big first inning for them with 5 runs, followed by a solo shot in the second inning there by Kaya Town. For Spanish Fork, a solo shot in the first inning for Tatum Hall. The only score so far on the day for Spanish Fork. We're blanked out in inning number 2 as Avery Sapp returns to the mound here for Spanish Fork. Be just a tick low there for ball 1. Batters 6, 7, and 8 in the order here for the Bears. That one catches the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Excellent pitch there by Sapp. That one catches the inside part of the plate for strike 2. Excellent job there by Sapp to work both ends of the plate. So count now 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Lucy Roche. The 1-2. It's going to be popped up, and it looks like it's going to land just a bit beyond the Bear River dugout. So Roche will make her way back over to batter's box. Count still 1-2. She grounded into a fielder's choice in her first at bat. Ended up driving in a run and then ended up scoring as part of that big 5-run inning for the Bears. The 1-2 fouled away. Had there not been a fence here, I might have been dead. But that is the reason the backstop is here. They built it only because of me. That's basically what I'm saying. It's absolutely not true. Plenty of other people here to protect other than just the announcer guys. That one is just a tick foul, basically just a couple inches beyond the fair line there. The count will stay 1-2. Rise ball that gets away from Sapp, leaving up the count here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 6-1 ball game between the Bears and the Lady Dons here in inning number 3. Looked like that was a potential ring-up pitch. Instead, will go down as a ball. So full count here now on Roche. And thought that one just nicked the inside corner. The payoff pitch, a changeup that will go at Hall. It will stay fair. Dug up by Archibald over there.
Hall to Archuleta for the first out.
At first base. Archuleta over there at first base. My apologies. Archibald, the one coming up now for Bear River. So out number 1 here in the top of the 3rd inning. They get Roche to ground out to Hall. It'll bring up Kendall Archibald, who got hit by a pitch in inning number 1. Ended up scoring a run. She'll take a healthy hack at a rise ball for strike 1. Starting to feel a few beads of rain come down. Hopefully it just stays at exactly that. Just a few drops here and there. That one pumped in there for strike 2. Looks like Sapp is now starting to find her rhythm here. Finding the top part of the strike zone with her rise balls and working both sides of the plate, and that's exactly what happens there. Mows her down on 3 straight beautiful pitches.
For the second out, bringing back.
Strikeout number 3 now on the day for Avery Sapp. And 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. Brings up Ashley Warren, who had the big base hit in inning number 1. Ended up with a 2-run single. That one in the dirt and bounces away from Pierce for ball 1. Was stranded at second base, did not score in that first inning, but definitely was a big part of the damage that was done in inning number 1. Rise ball that gets away. Off the glove of Pierce, and move the count now to 2 balls and no strikes. Again, Sapp really starting to establish herself a little bit better here in innings 2 and 3, and places a good one in there for the first strike here to Warren. 2 balls and 1 strike. We're seeing the pitch location a lot more crisp after that first inning. Changeup that's lined right at Sapp. Nothing doing there. Unflinching, grabs the line drive, and that is going to be out number 3. Good clean inning there for the Lady Dons, as they will keep the score here 6-1. Still a 5-run lead here for the Bears over the Lady Dons. As we move on over to the bottom half of the 3rd inning, it gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsors here at Spanish Fork 17. That's MVP Sports, Triple T, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Lance Wilson, State Farm, and 2 Jacks Pizza. Want to remind you that we want you to subscribe to our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/SpanishFork17. You'll be able to get updates on when we go live for our Maple Mountain and Spanish Fork High School games. And so make sure that you're joining our Spanish Fork 17 family at youtube.com/Spanish Fork 17. I want to give a shout out, of course, to our Spanish Fork 17 fans as well as our Bear River fans that are tuning in here today. Always a fun matchup between these two powerhouses, and we love that we were able to give you coverage of this one basically every single year. And so we thank you for being here. We hope that you're enjoying it, especially if you are a Bears fan. It's been a fun game for you as we are now in the bottom half of the third inning, and the score is 6-1. Big first inning for the Bears. 5 runs coming across, then getting a solo shot in the second inning by Kaya Town to extend the lead to 5. Just a solo shot so far for Spanish Fork by Tatum Hall, getting them on the scoreboard in inning number 2. Daly will miss with the first pitch to Audrey Overturf for ball 1. Overturf, a freshman. That one will also miss high for ball 2. She's out in center field here today and batting 9th in the lineup for Spanish Fork. According to Max Preps, has not registered a hit so far on the season. She's going to foul this one away. It'll hit the top of the backstop. And it'll move the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Has turned into a little bit of a drizzle now. A couple raindrops here and there, but certainly not enough to halt the progress of the game here. He's able to hold up on that one. That's excellent plate discipline there by Overturf. Will move the count now to 3 balls and 1 strike. Top of the order will be up next here for Spanish Fork, Jade Romero and Tatum Hall. Batters 9, 1, and 2 here to start things off in the third inning for Spanish Fork. Excellent pitch by Daly, places that one up and in to Overturf. She'll take a swing at it for strike 2. So now a full count to the freshman center fielder. The 3-2 is also placed nicely on the inside part of the plate. Gets in on the hands of Overturf. She'll swing through it for strike 3. 4 strikeout on the day for Kate Daly. Again, top of the order, though, back up here for Spanish Fork. This feels like a big moment here for the Lady Dons to get the offense up and cooking and cut into this 5-run lead here in this third inning. Beautiful pitch to catch the outside part of the plate for strike 1. It's been a theme today here for Daly. Really has just done a nice job of, again, really painting the outside part of the plate to this very right-leaning lineup for Spanish Fork. Romero did strike out in her first at-bat against Daly. Hoping for different results here in at-bat number 2 and hoping to spark things here in inning number 3 for Spanish Fork. That's going to be a ball that gets very away from Daly. We'll even up the count here at 1 ball, 1 strike. The rain is starting to come down a little bit. We will soldier on through until told otherwise. It's going to be tapped over to second base. The play will be made. It'll get past the first baseman, so Romero will get on here in the bottom of this inning. So score that as a throwing error on the second baseman. Does get on out number 1 here in this third inning and brings up Tatum Hall, who has the lone hit here today for Spanish Fork. Hit a solo shot out to center field. And that's going to catch the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Excellent pitch there by Kate Daly. No balls and 1 strike to the junior second baseman. The 0-1 able to hold up on that one. Tried to find that same spot on the outside part of the plate, but just a bit off. Nice job there by Hall to hold up. It'll even up the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. It'll be in the dirt. Nice job there to make sure that doesn't get too far away. So Romero unable to advance. Count though now 2 balls and 1 strike. The umpire is going to go out and talk things over with the Bears pitcher as everyone's starting to see the infielders actually heading out over to second base to talk things over, and everyone's kind of grabbing their arms, starting to get a little chilly now that the rain is starting to come down a little bit more. And we are going to try to push through this game as much as possible until it really starts coming down. I think we're going to try to get this ball game in here. Count is 2-1 on Hall, and she will hold up as that pitch goes up and away. So the count now 3 balls and 1 strike. Jade Romero getting on with 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning on a throwing error over at second base. Really has been a solid performance here on the bump for Kate Daly. The 3-1 is slapped out into left field. It will tail foul though, and it's going to move the count to full now on Tatum Hall. Wind starting to also pick up a little bit here as well. So 6-1 ball game here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. A 5-run lead for the Bears over the Lady Dons. The 3-1 pitch is the 3-2 pitch, my apologies, is fouled away by Tatum Hall, so she will stay in the batter's box with the count full. Let's see. We'll exchange balls here. Is the ball a little too wet for the pitcher here at this point. Rain really starting to come down here at the ballpark. Ump will run over to go check on things with Kate Daly. Feels like we might just try to get through this particular inning, and might potentially go to a delay here, but we'll see what happens as they're trying to do what they can to keep these balls dry and again, try to keep this ball game going. So some discussion there with the ump and with the Bear River team. And just trying to, like I said, do what we can to try to keep this ball game rolling, but I think it's just gotten to a point where it's gotten a little too heavy of rain here, and so we are going to take a weather delay here as it's getting a little too windy, a little too blustery, and a little too wet here. And so I'm gonna also run away here for a bit, so we will come back here shortly, but we're gonna go to a break here. So thanks for tuning in on Spanish Fork 17.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport. Paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
Contact State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?